All right, well, welcome. For those who have not met, I know this is a big weekend. I'm Pat Chun. I'm the Director of Athletics here, and it is my honor to welcome you to Pullman, to our campus, to celebrate for every person in their life, and a lot of us in the room have been here before a couple times, but when you step forth and grab that diploma, the symbolism of all that went into getting to this moment is not lost on anyone. So first, I'd like to congratulate all the graduates. If everyone wants to give them a round of applause. You know, when you're at Washington State University and you graduate a bunch of student athletes, you are graduating excellence. We have young people, and the journey started with parents, the level of commitment, the will to persevere, the adversity they had to overcome. When they leave here with diplomas, we got young people that are champions in all phases of life. They've competed at the highest levels of college athletics. They've turned around programs. They affected people in multitude of ways. So when you get a degree at a place like Washington State University at this level, every ounce that goes into it is nothing short of amazing. And really, when you look at those degrees to all of our graduates, it's just another reminder of when you make when you make that type of commitment, good things happen, and that degree is really more about the people behind there. So let me start here. Beyond the graduates, we also recognize in the athletic department that nothing extraordinary in life is done alone. So if we could all give mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles a big round of applause. And on behalf of our administrative team and all of our coaches, thank you. Because a lot of times what we do here is reinforce the values that we're taught within the home. A lot of times what we do is just remind them of all the things that you put inside them at a young age. There are seeds planted when they were young that for whatever reason bloom when you're in college. And the amazing thing is this next chapter of their life, all we'll see is even greater things to come from them. So, and to our graduates, I just want to remind you, reach back. This is we have a lot of alums in this room, and they will attest to this. This is from your first day on campus to the grave type of relationship with Washington State. So this is that Go Cougs in every corner of the world actually means something. So just remind you, we are always here. We're always here to serve you. The best parts of Washington State are always the people. We want you to come back as much as possible. Our staff is here always to help. Our coaches are here to help, because your success is the greatest reflection of us. And as you go out into this real world, just a reminder, and we got people that came from foreign countries all the way from Pullman High School to be a part of this. And at the end of the day, what got you here was this beautiful word that I think is the most important word with anything in life, is you just believed. And sometimes that's hard. And when you're growing up, sometimes when you didn't believe, you had your mom and dad, your grandma and grandpa, your aunts and uncles that could help you. You know, when you get to college, and sometimes when the adversity hits, you got teammates and coaches and academic people and strength and conditioning coaches that when that belief tank started to get low, they were there to help you. But understand that remaining here will be a bunch of people that believe in you. Going forward, you're going to keep surrounding yourself with people that believe in you. But wherever life takes you, what you believe is what you become. And we believe greatness is in front of you because we saw what you accomplished here. So just a reminder, when things get tight, just believe, because it'll get you there. So, and a good example of that is our speaker here today. So I was reading Mariah Cook's bio here, and I'm going to break this up in 4 easy buckets for you guys to understand, because we're fortunate to have an alum of this caliber here with us at Washington State. So Mariah is from California, played basketball for us, and that's just the origin. All right, when you look at her career, I wrote 4 things down here. Leadership. Youngest captain in the history of our basketball program. That's leadership. Excellence. The type of basketball player she was, the type of student she was here, that carries you for the rest of your life. Adversity. She was going to go play overseas, tore your knee up, but somehow figure out a way, you know what, if that chapter of my life closed, what am I going to do next? And the last piece, service. She's a lawyer. working, she's a lawyer, deputy district attorney in Alameda County. So she is literally one of these people that came to Pullman like you guys, graduated here, and is changing the world one person at a time with everything she does. So we're honored to have you here. You, whether you know it or not, you're a great example. You're a role model we can all look at. But we appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate the representation you give about Washington State, women athletes, the power of this place, the power of believing in yourself. So it's my honor to have Mariah Cooks give you guys a couple words from her heart. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. That was very humbling. I'm just so grateful to be here with you all today. The last time I was in Pullman, I was actually in your seat, graduating at the senior luncheon, but I was not in this nice seat. I was in bowler volleyball gym. But it is just such a pleasure to be here with you all. And again, let's just give a hand to our graduates and your parents, your families. This is awesome. Now, I want to take this time to recognize that we are celebrating 50 years of Title IX. And as I look around this room, I see a lot of women in here. And without Title IX, I wouldn't be here being able to say that not only was I a female college student athlete, but I also had the opportunity to go and graduate from law school. Title IX has played into both of those pieces. And so, as you'll see on your table, shout out to Cougar Athletic Fund for providing this Title IX. It's a full story. I also got a little goodie bag, and I had the opportunity to read through it a little bit last night. And it's amazing to see the history of the women who championed for you in order to sit in the seat that you're in today. And so let's give a hand for those women who worked so hard and fought so hard for us all to be here today. So this is a big deal. You're graduating, and I am so excited to share this day with you and this weekend with you. This is huge. And to begin our program, we are going to first introduce our student athletes. And we are going to continue our tradition, which is called the Senior Cougar Pride Walk. So, student athletes, I'd ask that you please join Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda, over there in the back of the room, and let's celebrate you. Let's get you up on stage. So all my student athletes, please head to the right.
players for WSU baseball, and could not be more proud to announce Colin Montez graduating with Digital Technology and Culture major, and Jack Smith, who will be a millionaire very soon, graduating in finance. I'm so proud of you guys, and I love you, and thanks for what you've done for our program. Proud of you.
Thank you, Brian. Next up, I'd like to introduce Miss Cammie Etheridge, the head women's basketball coach, to introduce our women basketball graduates.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here and to recognize Michaela Jones is first. She was this past season, year's president of SAC. So proud of her. And Shir Levy, she's coming across from Israel. And one player that's not with us is Crystal Ledger-Walker, but 3 transformational players that made a historic run for our women's basketball program. Go Cougs.
Thank you, Coach. All right, now I'd like to introduce Ms. Heather Irwin, who will be introducing our men's basketball and football graduates.
I'm here to introduce our only men's basketball player that is graduating this year, Will Burkhart. Will is going to be with us one more year while he finishes up his master's in kinesiology. And next up we have football. First up we have Ricky Baker. Ricky's graduating with his degree in business. And then Andrew Boyle in football. Dallas Hobbs. And Blake McDonald.
Next up, I would like to introducing the women's golf team is the women's golf head coach, Callie Kamamura.
Thank you. We have 2 great seniors with us today and one that could not be here today, Cammie March, who's been with us and made a great impact on our program and done so much to serve the athletic department and also our team. And Jessie Lin, she's from Taiwan and will be graduating tomorrow, and we're just excited for them and thankful for their impact on our program. Go Cougs.
All right, now please give a hand for Mr. Todd Schulenberger, the head coach, to say a few words about the women's soccer seniors.
Thank you. Okay, so this the women's soccer group, these young ladies graduated in December, so they're not here right now with us. These 4 awesome young ladies that are now playing professional soccer. They were Elise Bennett, Sydney Pulver, Marissa Zucchetta, and Bree Alger. This group was part of 53 victories here, 4 NCAA appearances during their career, their program's first trip to the College Cup. And the one thing about this group of young ladies, not only did they did it in the classroom, but these young ladies now have extended their career in playing professional. And this group is now past the, as far as number 2 in the country, is the second most players put in the draft in the last 5 years of Washington State soccer, UCLA being number 1. So we're proud of these young ladies in the classroom, but also obviously on the soccer field. And that last group of 4 was my first recruiting class. So go Cougs.
That is awesome. All right, next up, I'd like to introduce Dustin White to the stage to celebrate our golf seniors. Oh, are you Dustin White? Oh, okay, I was like, welcome. No.
We only have one senior this year. He's only been with us for 2 years. It's gone by in the blink of an eye, honestly, but to say this young man is going to leave an impact on our program would be a serious understatement. President's honor roll each semester, got himself on an all-conference team, made the Canadian national team, multiple school record holder. I mean, he did it all, and he embraced what it means to be a Coug. So the Big Maple from Rycroft, Alberta, Canada, Max Sekulich.
All right, and now to introduce the Cougar rowers is head coach Jane LaRiviere.
I'm also another Big Maple from Alberta. Anyway, these five are pretty special. They've seen us through COVID, 2 trips to NCAA's, some of them 3, some of them 4, I don't even know. But we got Emma Barrett, Gabby Hannon, Grace Mango. I'm making her wait. Kate Maestrenko and Jess Norris. Pac-12 Championships is May 15th, and we're going to go there and we're going to rock and roll and do a great job and get back to NCAA's. That's on the plan. This is not... It's too early to celebrate. I understand we're honoring the graduates, but these ladies have a lot of work to do in the next couple of weeks. So they're awesome.
All right. Next up, I would like to introduce Coach Matthew Leach, who will now introduce the members of the Cougar swim team.
All right. I would like to, first off, before they get on the stage, recognize all of them. At some point during their careers, they've been a part of a school record-setting relay or individual record, all 7 of our seniors today. So thank you. And first off, Emily Barrier. She's a top 10 swimmer in the 50 freestyle and is a part of the 200 free school record and the 400 free school record relay, graduating in environmental science. We have Lauren Burkle, who is a top 10 swimmer in the 200 breaststroke, 200 IM, and the school record holder in the 100 breaststroke. Next, we have Mackenzie Duarte, who is a school record holder in the 200 breaststroke, top 10 swimmer in the 100 breaststroke, and graduating sports science. Next, we have Kiana Fontaine, who is a school record holder in the 200 freestyle, a top 10 swimmer in the 50 and the 100 freestyle, and is graduating in psychology. Next is Paige Gardner, who is a part of the 200 freestyle relay record team and is graduating in biology. Chloe Larson, our first Pac-12 champion ever from the swim team, is graduating sports science amongst many accolades. And then Taylor McCoy, who's a 200 backstroker school record holder and 400 IM record holder, graduating with their master's degree in sports management. The swimming team, go Cougs.
Very educated swimming team. Very great. All right, next up, I'd like to introduce Bill Stevens, the Associate Director of Athletics for Communication, who will introduce our women's tennis seniors.
Well, thank you. Head coach and assistant coach couldn't be here. They're out recruiting, so I'm fortunate enough to introduce our 2 seniors. Both have left an indelible mark on the program with still more to come. Michaela Bayarlova, earlier this week, was named the singles player of the conference and the scholar athlete of the conference. She's not here today, but she's done a tremendous job for the program. Our senior who is here, Savannah Lee Wynn, led us this year in singles wins and doubles wins. Last year she was one of 10 student athletes nationally to be named an Arthur Ashe Scholar recipient, and she will graduate with a degree in neuroscience. Go Cougs.
All right, next up, I'd like to introduce Ms. Allison Hagahara, the Assistant Director of Academic Services, who is here to introduce the Cougar Volleyball Team seniors.
In her third season on the court for the Cougs, Kalia Williams put together a career year in the middle to help lead WSU to its 6th straight NCAA tournament appearance. As a team, the Cougs finished the year 20-12, hitting the 20-win mark for the third time in the last 3 full seasons of action. At the net, Kalia produced a career-high 259 kills while finishing second on the team in blocks with 84. She was at her best in the biggest moments, including tallying a career-best 13 kills in the Cougs' epic 5-set Apple Cup win over Washington back in September. Not only has Kalia had an impact on the court, but also on campus. During her time here at WSU, Kalia has been an active member in the Black Student Athlete Association as the social chair. She's positively impacted other student athletes as a peer academic coordinator or counselor, and served on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Although she will miss her WSU family, she'll be leaving Pullman with a degree in sport management and 2 minors, 1 in communication and 1 in human development. Congratulations, Kalia.
All right, next up, I'd like to welcome Wayne Phipps, who is the head track and field and cross-country coach, who will introduce our women's and men's track and field and cross-country senior class.
Thank you very much. We're still in the thick of our season as well, and certainly there'll be some more superlatives and accolades that will come with this group moving forward. And unfortunately, we have a pretty good-sized group, unfortunately for me, but I'm more than excited to give a little short, brief praise for each of them as they come across. First is Emily Coombs. She has turned herself into one of the best vaulters in the Pac-12, an NCAA first-round qualifier, working on her graduate degree in education right now. Next is Ronna Iverson, an impactful member of our sprint program, Pac-12 qualifier, and a multiple-time scholar athlete here at WSU. And next, Sasha Korolanko, actually working on her PhD right now in molecular biology. Yeah, and an impactful member of our nationally ranked women's hammer throwing program. Next is Ashton Overby, one of the top-ranked high jumpers in the entire nation, one of the top-ranked in the history of WSU, and one of the top-ranked in the Pac-12. And Susie Pace, keeping pace with Ashton Overby, NC All-American in the high jump as well, and with those two creating a solid group that is also a nationally ranked high jump in the NCAA. Next is Pia Richards. She's been a member of our cross-country and track program, which seems like more than 4 years, but has done an awesome job, improved every year, and has now become an NCAA first-round qualifier for us, and is working on her master's degree, and hopefully coming back and helping out with the track team a little bit next year. And next is Geneva Schlepp. She's multiple award winner for us as well in both cross-country and track, and was named the Junior Student Athlete or Student of the Year in the College of Engineering last year. We're going, guys, to her. Yay, women's track and field. Go Cougs. And leading off, Sam Brixey. I like that. So, school record in the 60-meter hurdles, one of the greatest hurdlers in the history of WSU, 3-time NC All-American indoor, outdoor NC All-American, Olympic trials qualifier, just finished 5th at the most recent indoor NCAA championship, and as of 2 weeks ago was number 7 in the entire world in the 100-meter or 110 hurdles. And Ryan Davi has been an impactful member of our sprint program for the past several years and was actually named the Scholar Athlete of the Month last year. Colton Johnson. So Colton actually walked on at WSU and turned himself into one of the greatest distance runners in the legendary history of WSU. The only people that have run faster than him in his respective events are maybe two people who have heard of Bernard Lagat and Henry Rono. 5-time NCAA All-American in every event from the 15 or the mile, the 3K, the 5K, and the steeplechase. And John Kolb came to us from Louisville. Was impactful right away. Got second at Pac-12 in the discus. But I think what I'm just most impressed about, probably just about anybody else, this would have been a season, if not a career-ending injury. Came back quicker than I think anybody expected him to, and then within 2 meets was already an NCAA first-round qualifier in discus. And Marty Munyon, maybe the ultimate teammate, ultimate cheerleader, ultimate hard worker, and has turned himself into one of the better hammer throwers in the conference. Jamal Palmer, fellow Canadian. I think everyone's used up the Big Maple nicknames. But impactful member and definitely a leader amongst our sprint group in both 4x1 and 4x4. And Nate Pendleton, multiple award winner for us in both cross and track, has done an amazing job within being a photographer, videographer, and actually provided some game day content for ESPN game day when I came to campus. So. And then I should actually be tagging out to Matthew Watkins, definitely a career in sports broadcasting, puts on quite a show for us on several occasions, maybe cornhole, just about everything from that standpoint, but was a team member of our nationally ranked cross-country team, NCAA qualifier for in cross-country, and also one of the top 10K runners in the conference. And that's what I got. And go Cougs!
All right, now let's give one more hand and applause for our senior student athletes. And I say one more hand, but we're going to be celebrating you all weekend, so I'll probably clap again. We appreciate all the hard work and dedication that you put in to not only excel as a student athlete. You've heard of a lot of accolades and accomplishments that you've received over the course of your career, but you're about to get your diploma, your degree. You are a college graduate, and that's a big deal. And so congratulations to you all. I'm a proud Coug watching this happen today, so this is awesome. I would like to next welcome Emily Combs, who's a member of the women's track and field team, to lead our invocation. Emily received her bachelor's degree in elementary education last spring and has been pursuing her master's degree in curriculum and instruction. So please, let's give a round of applause for Emily.
Please join me in a word of prayer. We gather here today grateful for the time we have shared at Washington State University. Over the past 4 years or so, we have made lasting friendships and have been blessed with amazing experiences where we got to showcase our talents both on and off the field. We are so thankful for the countless blessings that have been graciously bestowed upon us. I pray for continual blessings over each senior, that we would have clarity, peace, strength, and support as we depart WSU. Washington State will forever be our home, and we thank you for gifting us our Cougar family. I pray that this meal would nourish our bodies and that we can cherish our time together today as we celebrate this great accomplishment of graduation. We pray all of this wholeheartedly. Amen.
I'd like to begin the program, so you can please continue eating, enjoying your meal, getting these yummy desserts. And at this point, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome and celebrate our special guest in attendance. First is our family and friends that are here. At this point, I'd like to ask all the family members and friends of the seniors to please stand up and let us celebrate you. As Pat mentioned, your senior student athletes would probably not be here sitting at this table being celebrated if it were not for you. So thank you for the sacrifice that it took to get your seniors to this point. Next, I would like to celebrate our university administration, faculty, and advisors. We are so fortunate to have a number of university faculty and staff members here in attendance today. So at this time, please stand if you are a part of our faculty, administration, or any advisors. Thank you for being an integral part of the student experience here at WSU and for student athletes. Thank you. All right, next, I'd like to recognize the Cougar Athletics staff that is in attendance. Staff and coaches, could you please stand? Wow. As you can see from the number of staff in attendance today, many individuals played a big integral part of making sure that the student-athlete experience was not only created but maintained throughout the course of your time here. So thank you for the time that you've invested in each of the seniors that are here today. So thank you. Next, I would like to welcome our senior class speaker. Please welcome Ms. Sheer Levy from our women's basketball team to speak on behalf of our class of 2022. Sheer is a 4-year letter winner on the Cougar Athletics. You can come up, Sheer, it's good. On the Cougar Athletic women's team. Sheer is an international student from Israel who has earned her bachelor's degree in psychology. So please give a hand for Ms. Sheer. Thank you.
I don't know how many of you believe in karma. I took 3 flights, 2 connections, and 1 pair of basketball shoes just to get my own karma. Anyone who is familiar with the god of competitive sport knows that they are living in the small details. It is 4:30 a.m. The alarm clock finally went off after 3 snoozes. Even after years into the system, it's hard to get used to those hours. I make myself a very dark and very strong cup of coffee, sip it down quickly, and hop in my car, and start driving towards the gym. I'm walking into the gym, and I see Lori, our associate head coach, and find out that although I arrived an hour before practice started, she arrived there sooner. Even after a glorious career in Europe and in the WNBA, she still can find the habit of being the first one at the gym. It's in her nature. Lori always says, if we want to be accurate and do everything right, the basketball gods won't help us. Recently, I thought about this sentence and what it really means. Our team slogan is everything matter. Our coaches remind us of this sentence every day, in the circle before practice starts, in team meetings, and in their locker room before the game starts. This sentence has accompanied me every day during my college experience, trickled into my consciousness, and today I can understand it more than ever. I'd like to start with a short anecdote from my freshman year. It was a Monday afternoon. We just got back from California after 2 tough losses against Stanford and Cal. We practiced for 2 hours, went over our plays and tactics, and got ready for the next game. A minute remained for the end of practice, the last offense. I was standing in the corner, and a shot went off. I kept standing. How come you're not going to the offensive board? Coachy asked me, and I had nothing to say. You know how important it is. That's why we lose games. Because you didn't rebound in the last minute of practice, this is what we look like. At that moment, it seems unfair to me. We are working so hard every day, shooting, lifting weights, reading the scouts several times before each game. And because I didn't go for one offensive board in the last minute of practice, we are losing games. And then it hit me. That's exactly why. The idea of being a student athlete means that every day we must bring our best selves, invest all our mental, physical, and emotional energies, communicate, get excited, be happy for our teammates, and support one another, even if things don't always go our way. Being a student athlete means that we take every action personally, even if it's the last minute of practice, we are tired and in pain, if we have been studying all night and have a big assignment due, and even if we miss home. We learn how to always give 100% at any given moment while playing our sports. We develop those traits just like a new muscle. We are about to finish 4 years as student athletes at WSU. No one can stop time, but any athlete that is here today should look back and reflect over moments of challenge and self-development. It should be obvious to anyone that is graduating this week that being a student athlete is not only about winning games and breaking records. The most important things are the gifts we received as human beings along the way. Persistence, determination, and the ability to become a part of something that is much bigger than us. Those gifts were given to us by people that are usually working backstage. I look at all of those wonderful people that accompanied us along the way, and I want to express collective gratitude. The strength that we developed in the lifting room does not come only from the dumbbells, but rather from the support and guiding hands of the strength and conditioning staff. The ability to overcome injuries does not come only from the medicine, but rather from the devoted treatment and investments of the trainers. The power to overcome academic challenges does not come only from the books, but rather from a caring academic staff. The capability to improve our mental, emotional, and physical skills does not come only from hours of practicing, but rather by following outstanding coaches and human beings. Coming back to the beginning of the speech, I had no chance of beating Lori to the gym. I also had the privilege of meeting Coach E, who never stopped teaching us and developing us as basketball players and human beings. That's the beauty of being surrounded by women who push you to new heights, women who give an example of excellence, hard work, respect, and resilience. An outsider will never know the real value of our experiences here. If only walls could speak, they would have 4 years' worth of stories to tell. They would speak about how we walked into the gym at 5 a.m. just so we could get some extra work in while everyone else is still sleeping. They would talk about how we specialized at making cream cheese bagels in less than 5 seconds because we were late for class. They would talk about how we tried to perfect our sport while dealing with demands, expectations, and trying to balance an impossible schedule. But most importantly, they would talk about how much we grew and developed as people. Those walls are holding moments of joy, challenges, celebration, and accomplishments. They have done that for years. The ability of walls to witness such moments for so many years is called tradition. I am proud to be a part of it. Go Cougs!
That was beautiful, Sheer. We definitely picked the right woman for the job. So great job. One more round of applause. All right, we will now begin our award presentation. So I'd like to welcome back up to center stage Ms. Heather Irwin, who is the Associate Director of Athletics for Academic Services, to present the Senior Excellence Academic Awards. I don't think it's on.
We good? Okay. The Senior Excellence in Academics Award is presented each year to senior student athletes earning a 3.5 or higher cumulative GPA. This talented group of seniors have been members of the WSU Athletic All-Academic Team each semester and have excelled in their degree and sport programs. On behalf of our academic staff, we would like to congratulate the following seniors for achieving excellence in their academic careers at WSU. We're going to start with baseball. From baseball, Jack Smith. From men's golf, we have Max Sekulich. From rowing, we have Emma Barrett. Gabby Hannon. From tennis, we have Michaela Barilova. And Savannah Lewen. From swimming, we have Lauren Burkle, Kiana Fountain, Paige Gardner, Chloe Larson, and Taylor McCoy. From women's track, we have Emily Coombs, Amy Kramer, Ashlyn Overby, Susie Pace, Amelia Pullen, Pia Richards, and Geneva Schlepp. From women's golf, Amy Chu, from women's basketball, we have Michaela Jones, Sheer Levy, and finally from men's track, we have Ryan Davey, John Klobb, Marty Munyon, Nate Pendleton, and Zachary Stallings. Congratulations to our Senior Excellence in Academic Award winners.
Yes, yeah. A lot of excellence. Great job. All right, next I would like to welcome up Ms. Wanda Tennant, who's the Director of Academic Services. And before we go any further, let's just give a round of applause for Ms. Wanda because she put all of this together. Great job. It's going wonderfully. I told you.
That's not in the script.
It's not in the script, but I need to celebrate you. So, Ms. Wanda will be recognizing the Pac-12 Conference postgraduate scholarship recipients, as well as the Cougar Pride Academic Salute trophies.
Welcome. I'm so happy to see you all back together again. I know everyone talks about COVID and about how we're getting back to our traditions, and this is one of my favorites. So I'm really happy to see your seniors and to see your parents and everyone recognizing all that you've done here at WSU. It's always hard for me this year because I feel like you're still freshmen. I don't know how this happened. So I want to talk about the Pac-12 Postgraduate Scholarship. It is a scholarship that is awarded from the Pac-12 for postgraduate studies. Gosh, I think I were repetitive. That was the name. It's $9,000 awarded to a male and a female typically who've exhausted their eligibility and completed their undergraduate degree. And so our two recipients this year, we're very excited. From women's swimming, it's Chloe Larson. Chloe has a 3.79 GPA while majoring in kinesiology and minoring in psychology. She plans to attend an accelerated nursing program. She'll earn her BS in there. And she's always been passionate about helping others in her career and health field. As we've talked a lot about Chloe already, are you embarrassed yet? She doesn't really like the public spotlight. For somebody who swims so fast, it's kind of amazing. But she capped her WSU career competing in the 50 and the 100 free events at the NCAA National Championships this year. And last week at the Cougar Sports Award that's held by student athletes, she was voted Athlete of the Year. Congratulations. For the men, we're very excited to honor Will Burkhardt from men's basketball. And as Heather, I think someone mentioned, Will is a grad transfer this year. You all hear a lot about the transfer portal, and this is what happens. Will is currently enrolled in his master's program in kinesiology. He's dedicated to athleticism in both his mind and body and has a passion for developing a better understanding of the physical capabilities of the human body. Does that sound familiar? I think you wrote it. Will was recognized this year at the Cougar Sports Awards also with a Moment of the Year. And as I see the blocked kick there from whatever Apple Cup game that was, I should know the year if I'm going to talk about the history of it, right? It reminds me that his three-point shot at the end of the last regular season game against Oregon, he also contributed to the 16 three-pointers the Cougars scored that evening, and that's why he's the Moment of the Year, right? We had someone else on staff who was going to present the Cougar Pride Academic Salute today. Unfortunately, came down with COVID, so you get stuck with me again. So the Academic Salute, the criteria for this award is a student athlete who's not only excelled at striking a balance with academics and athletics, but crashed through that ceiling and is such a phenomenal student and athlete that we have to take a moment to say, you are awesome. So this year, we're congratulating Emily Coombs and Max Sekulich. Emily is a pole vaulter for the Cougar women's track and field team. She advanced to the NCAA West prelims in 2021. She's graduated with her bachelor's degree in elementary education and is currently pursuing her master's in curriculum and instruction. She earned a 3.99 undergraduate GPA. What class did you not get an A in?
Science 101. I got an A-.
There we go. And she now has a 4.0 in grad school, so I'm sure you're not surprised. Max is a leader on the men's golf team. He's a 3-year transfer. 3 years? You've been here 3 years, haven't you? 2.5, okay. Who will earn his degree in humanities. He has a 3.8 GPA. Last week at the Pac-12 championships, Max carded a through 4 rounds, sorry. I mean, there's something missing there. Of play to finish 21st. He's distinction of playing in every tournament in his WSU career. I don't know if anybody's ever done that before. Have they, Dustin? Was it you? Wait a minute, Emily. Sorry. Thank you.
All right, next up, I would like to welcome to the stage Miss Lisa Bushman, the Assistant Director of Academic Services, to present the Athletic Director's Star Performer Award.
I'm pleased to be introducing our 2022 Star Performer Award recipients. Neither could be here, but we want to honor both Calvin Jackson and Nick Johnson. So the Star Performer Award is presented to the senior student athletes who best reflect a commitment to academic improvement, leading to successful completion of their degree. Calvin is well deserving of the recognition due to his resiliency and work ethic in the classroom. After coming to WSU as a transfer student athlete, he faced challenges in the classroom during his first few semesters, but persevered and found his footing just in time to be hit with the additional challenge, both personally and through the transition to online learning. He was able to overcome all these challenges and has graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Humanities. And then Nick Johnson, the transition to college and demands of being a college student athlete can be challenging, especially as travel and competition require time away from the classroom. With great maturity, he rebounded from a few challenging semesters and graduated in spring 2021 with a Bachelor of Arts in Social Science. While COVID and online learning presented additional challenges, it also provided him extended semesters of eligibility, which he took full advantage of to earn a post-bac degree. He'll be graduating tomorrow with a Bachelor of Arts in Humanities. It's Nick and Calvin.
Thank you, Lisa. Next up, I'd like to welcome up Nick Garner, who's the Coordinator of Student Athlete Development, to present the Steve Gleason Community Service Award.
Thanks, Mariah. Real quick before I start, the second part of my job title is Alumni Engagement. And so as you all are graduating and heading off into the next step of your life, we want you all to stay engaged and still be part of the Coug community. Mariah is a great example of someone who graduated and went off and was really successful, and now she's coming back to us. And so we're here as resources for you all, and we still want you to be part of our Coug family as you continue to move on. But now to present the Steve Gleason Community Service Award. This award is named for a former WSU student athlete who to this day continues to embody the characteristics that have defined his entire life. He's determined to make an impact while fighting a battle that continues to be more about others than himself. Whether you call it activism, advocacy, or championing, Steve Gleason defines community service, and WSU continues to be proud to recognize the student athletes who follow in his footsteps. The recipient of this year's award is a student athlete who demonstrates every day courage, determination, compassion, and leadership. I'm delighted to present this award to Michaela Jones from women's basketball.
My gosh, I'm just up here so proud. This is amazing. All right. Next up, I'd like to welcome up Todd Barber, who is the Director of Strength and Conditioning, who will announce this year's recipients of the Oviatt Award. It's the Oviatt Lang Cougar Strength and Conditioning Award.
Yeah, really happy to be here. Last 2 years I've done this over video, so it's awesome to see everybody. The Oviatt Lane Award, I know both these strength coaches from when I first got in the field in the early 90s. So it's an honor to present awards to athletes that have their name on it. So what we're looking at, everybody talks about in the weight room, about teamwork, about grinding, about hard work, dedication, and all that. And we're looking for athletes that show that every single day, because it is a grind. You athletes know it's hard to get up every day. She was talking about 5 a.m.s. You know, we have 6 a.m.s, 5:30 a.m.s in the weight room. It's tough. So the athletes that show up every day and put in the work are great teammates, great student athletes, and do everything we ask. It's awesome. And we could have picked a lot of people. So this year, these two stood out. One of them, I'm blessed with 3 sons. I always looked at our female athletes for the last 20-some years as daughters. That's how I treat them. That's how I look at that. This winner is somebody that I'd be proud to call my daughter. Great teammate. Somebody that's battled injury since I've been here. Like literally, it seemed like she was always rehabbing. This poor kid, and she showed up, and it was a smile on her face every day. She was actually the first student athlete that walked into my office in 2019 when I got here to introduce herself. So it's amazing. Very proud of her. Michaela Jones. And the male athlete is a senior. He's cleaning up today as well, all academic. He should be on the all Pac-12 hair team. It's amazing. He has a flow it's like the big maple back in hockey days for Canada. It's Jack Smith.
All right. Now, representing Athletic Training Services is Cassie Hodgen, who will now present the Damian Bisick Athletic Training Award.
Hello. You have to get one mic check in to make sure you don't blow off the speakers, right? The athletic training staff is pleased to select one male and one female senior student athlete who is humble, hardworking in the athletic training room, and has overcome physical and/or other personal challenges to succeed at WSU. The Damian Bisick Award is named for Sergeant Damian Bisick, a former WSU athletic training student who put his education on hold to join the war in Iraq as an Army Ranger. This year's male recipient is track and field's Sam Brixey. The staff member that nominated Sam wrote, "He is a hardworking student athlete who has had success at the national level. He is also one of the most respectful student athletes while in and around the athletic training facility and staff. He's always upbeat, positive, and willing to step in and help us carry things when needed," which every athletic trainer will tell you is gold. He is also consistently engaged and interested in his rehab and treatment and is always very grateful for all that we do for him. This year's female recipient is women's basketball's Michaela Jones. The staff member that nominated Michaela wrote, "She is an outstanding young lady who has overcome a lot of adversity and throughout has maintained one of the most positive attitudes we've ever seen. She has accepted her role as a true team player despite her occasional lack of playing time. She works hard in everything she does, and we all very much appreciate it."
All right, for our next award, I would like to welcome up our newly elected 2022 through 2023 Student Athletic Advisory President, Ms. Meg Montgomery from the rowing team, to present the SAC True Cougar Award.
Hello. Okay. Thank you very much. Each year, the WSU Athletics Student Athlete Advisory Committee selects one male and one female senior student athlete as the True Cougar Award recipients. These student athletes started their WSU careers as non-scholarship participants and through hard work, determination, and perseverance earned a scholarship. SAC is proud to recognize these individuals who represent the definition of leadership, commitment to athletic excellence, and above all else, Cougar pride. I am honored to present the SAC True Cougar Award to Ashlyn Overby, women's track and field high jumper, and Colton Johnson from the men's track and field and cross country teams.
Take a pic. It's time for you to shine. There we go. Very good. All right, and now it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Dan Blankenship, who will present the recipients of the award named after his beloved mother, Ms. Bialua Blankenship Outstanding Student Athlete Award.
Good afternoon, everybody. People ask me once in a while, how come your mom didn't go by her middle name with a name like Beulah? Well, if you look in your program, it's because her middle name was Myrtle. So anyway, thanks, Mariah. Good afternoon, friends, seniors, parents, faculty, staff, student athletes, and all other Cougs. Again, as I was introduced, my name is Dan Blankenship. I am the fifth of Dwayne and Beulah Blankenship's 6 children. It's my honor and privilege to be joining you here today in person after 2 years of not being able to do that. And for the 23rd time, hard to believe, presenting the Beulah M. Blankenship Outstanding Senior Athlete Awards. Before I do that, though, on behalf of the entire Blankenship family, I would like to thank WSU Athletics for continuing to honor my mother and her contributions to 3 generations of Cougar athletes in this way. With me here today, my wife of almost 35 years, in about 3 weeks, Dolly, is with me today. This award is named after a little dynamo of a farm wife from Washtenaw, Washington. She never attended Washington State University, although 5 of her children did. She never worked here. She never coached here, and she never donated enough money to have a building named after her. But over a period of about 35 years, she donated enough love and support to her adopted family, Cougar Athletics, to have a pretty cool award named after her. A development I'm sure she would find very disturbing, as she never was much of an attention seeker. After shepherding all 6 of her kids and countless other young people through Little League, junior high, and high school sports, she and my dad turned their attention to about 3 generations worth of Cougar student athletes. All Cougar athletes. They attended games, matches, practices, banquets, fundraisers of all kinds. Mom and Dad traveled with the football team, with the men's basketball team, and went for a period of, we think, about 22 years without missing a home or away game in either of those sports. She eventually missed a home basketball game because my brother got married that day and she was really ticked off. Anyway, they eventually expanded that to nearly all Cougar athletic events. She baked several thousand dozen of the best cookies you ever tasted. Mom was proud enough of those cookies, she even shared them with the one class of people she had a tough time finding any redeeming values in, namely referees. As an aside, my mom never attended an event that her Cougs lost. They either ran out of time or got shafted by the refs. She created hundreds of scrapbooks for graduating seniors, coaches, and trainers. She crafted handmade quilts for several staff members, some of which still hang in places of honor in offices in Boulder Gym. I believe Coach Greeny has one in her office that was handed down to her from her coach when she played here, Cindy Frederick. My mother became a trusted friend, a helpful advisor, in some instances a marriage counselor, your favorite crazy aunt, your beloved adopted grandma, and a huge fan of 3 generations of Cougar athletes, staff, and coaches. She and Dad eventually moved to Pullman so they could spend more time with their Cougs. She had her favorites, usually kids who beat the odds, whose contributions were well in excess of their God-given talents. She was always able to find the Cougs who were special people, good people, people who did things the right way. And this year's award recipients fit that mold perfectly. There are 2 recipients of the award annually, 1 male, 1 female. The names of these recipients will be permanently added to a plaque which hangs in Boulder Gym. And this year, each recipient will also receive a WSU Cougar embossed charcuterie board. Now, I think Wanda did that just to challenge me in being able to pronounce charcuterie at least more than once. And the charcuterie boards have not arrived yet, so standing in for charcuterie tonight, each recipient will receive a lovely Cougar medal to stand in till you know what gets here. First, the male recipient. In the words of his coach from the letter nominating him for this award, he is a leader both on and off the field. He is someone who the entire team looks up to and is the first person new players flock to. He is a welcoming and guiding presence on his team, and his skills and leadership extend well beyond his sport. He uses his skills and talents to improve his teammates, his athletic department, and the community at large. He is someone who understands the platform he has earned and uses it for good. In conclusion, his coach wrote, "This award is given to someone based on academics, athletics, campus involvement, and community service. This young man is an inspiration and someone that Washington State University should be proud to call a Coug." The male recipient of the 2022 Beulah M. Blankenship Outstanding Senior Athlete Award is Dallas Hobbs. Did you want a picture? Are you good? All right. Yeah, let's give it another. The female recipient, again, from the letter nominating her for this award. I have borne witness to the growth, development, and impact this woman has had on those around her. She has worked hard to create a more inclusive and meaningful experience for both herself and her fellow athletes. She's given of herself to her teammates and her community through her involvement in Butch's Bash and Reading Buddies. Through hard work and determination, she was able to graduate early and work on her master's degree during her final season of competition. Her path has not always been easy. She has experienced injury and pain throughout her career, but her ability to maintain a positive attitude, to maintain her kindness and grit truly exemplify who she is as a person. She has left an indelible mark on her team and the entire athletic department. I could not think of a better person to receive this award. The 2022 female recipient of the Beulah M. Blankenship Outstanding Senior Athlete Awards, this is evidently the world of Michaela Jones. Today we're just living in it, is Michaela Jones. Thank you. Congratulations to both of this year's recipients and to all the graduating Cougar student athletes and your families. We'll see you again next year. Go Cougs.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Next up, I would like to welcome Dr. Shelby McKay, the Assistant Director of Athletics for the Student Athlete Development, who will announce the recipients of the Cougar Leadership Award.
Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Shelby McKay here to present the Cougar Athletics Leadership Award. So we created this award to acknowledge the value and priority WSU Athletics places on providing leadership development opportunities for all student athletes. This award is presented to two senior student athletes who have impacted a positive change within his or her sport, the athletics department, Washington State campus, at the conference or the national level, as well as the greater Pullman community. So the recipients of this Cougar Athletics Leadership Award has been a consistent voice while representing the student athlete experience here at WSU. So this recipients are truly remarkable and outstanding student-athlete leaders in all that they do. So for our female award winner, it is Kate Mastrenko. And then our male awardee is Dallas Hobbs.
Thank you. All right, next up, I would like to welcome up Chris Park, who is the Deputy Director of Athletics, who will now be presenting the Tom Hansen Pac-12 medal recipients.
Mariah, thank you. A conference medal is awarded annually to each member institution's outstanding senior male and female student athlete based on the exhibition of the greatest combination of performance and achievement in athletics, scholarship, and leadership. Conference medal winners have been named every year since the 1960-61 academic year. In 2009, the Pac-12 renamed the award the Tom Hansen Conference Medal in honor of Hansen, who served for 26 years as a commissioner of the then Pac-10. Crystal Ledger-Walker has made a permanent impact on the Washington State women's basketball team in just 2 seasons with the program. In her first season at Washington State, the point guard guided the Cougars to their first NCAA tournament appearance in 30 years. She led the Pac-12 conference in total assists that season with 109. Ledger-Walker came back for her super senior season, looking to make history, and she did just that. The point guard guided Washington State to 19 wins in the 21-22 campaign, which set the program record for most wins in a season. The Cougars also set a program record for the most Pac-12 wins in a single season during Ledger-Walker's final season on the Palouse with 11 victories, as Washington State posted its best Pac-12 finish in program history by tying for second with Oregon. Ledger-Walker's 243 assists over the last 2 seasons are the most by a Pac-12 player during that span. She capped off her final season with Washington State by helping the Cougars earn their second straight at-large bid into the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. Crystal leaves Washington State having averaged 8.7 points, 4.5 assists per game in 54 career contests. She is a 2-time Pac-12 Spring Academic Honor Roll member. Ledger-Walker is also a 2-time All-Pac-12 Defensive Team Honorable Mention selection and earned 21-22 All-Pac-12 Honorable Mention accolades. Crystal Ledger-Walker. In only 3 seasons since transferring to Washington State as a sophomore, Colton Johnson has become one of the greatest distance runners in Washington State history. He ranks top 10 in WSU history in 5 different events: the 1500, where he's 9th, the 3,000 meter, 8th, the 3,000 meter steeplechase, 7th, the 5,000 meter, 8th, and 2nd in the mile, and was a mere 9/100ths of a second from breaking a 23-year-old program record in the mile earlier this indoor season. Having qualified for both indoor and outdoor NCAA championships at Washington State, Johnson is a 3-time All-American and is now pursuing his MBA after graduating with a degree in marketing. Colton, congratulations. Colton, they promised me the Pac-12 is going to mail the medal, so you can still come on up. We can shake hands and take a picture. Oh, okay, well, I'll find you later for a picture, Colton, I promise. Congratulations.
Man, can run 5,000 meters, but 100 feet is too much. All right. And for our last award, I would like to welcome up Ms. Nancy Swanner, who is the faculty athletics representative and founding director of the Granger Cobb Institute for Senior Living. And she will be acknowledging student athletes who have been the recipient of university awards this spring.
Wow, I need a booster seat. First of all, as a representative of the faculty, I want to say congratulations to all of the seniors. That's kind of our purpose, why we're here, to see you get from point A to point B successfully, hopefully, not always without some struggles or challenges, but you're here and you made it, and we all need to celebrate that. And I just pray that God bless and keep you throughout on the next great challenges that are all before you. So first of all, congratulations. Also, I am here to announce some of the awards that come from the university level, and the recipients of these awards have already, it's not a surprise to them, they have already been given those awards, and so as I read them off, what we will do is just ask each recipient to stand where they are and be recognized. Okay? The first one is the Voiland College of Engineering and Architecture Outstanding Senior in Civil Engineering. That goes to Geneva Schlepp, Women's Track and Field. The next award is the WSU Emeritus Society Undergraduate Research Award for the Social Sciences. This year, this award goes to a communication and society and psychology major who was mentored by Dr. Chris Berry for the project, Perceptions of Confrontational Behavior in Sports Situations as a Function of Athlete Status, Narcissism, and Psychopathy. I don't even know what that means. The research shows that confrontational behavior is viewed differently as a function of sport versus non-sport contexts and a person's history as an athlete or non-athlete, and the perceiver's self-reported narcissism, psychopathy, and self-esteem. How about that? The award goes to Sheer Levy, basketball. The WSU President's Award for Leadership is an honor bestowed annually to students and others representing the top leaders at Washington State University. Recipients of this prestigious award demonstrate exceptional leadership and service to the university and the community, as well as to those who support leadership development in WSU students. Nominees for this award for leadership are reviewed within the framework of the social change model of leadership development. In this model, leadership is viewed as a process rather than a position. The values of equality, social justice, self-knowledge, personal empowerment, collaboration, citizenship, and service are explicitly promoted. The 2022 honorees are Kate Field, rowing, and Kate Mastrenko, also rowing. Lastly, the WSU Alumni Association Top 10 Senior Awards. Each year, 10 graduating seniors from Washington State University are recognized for excellence in several areas: academics, athletics, campus involvement, community service, and visual and performing arts. The WSU Alumni Association and Student Alumni Ambassadors coordinate the 80-year tradition of honoring these outstanding students who are nominated from across WSU's 6 campuses. A selection committee comprised of faculty, staff, and students chose the winners based on the criteria that fit each category. The 2022 honorees for athletics are Michaela Bayerlova, tennis, and Chloe Larson, swimming. Thank you, congratulations to all, and go Cougs.
this right back up. That's great. All right. Wow. So before I really get started, I again just want to congratulate each of you in this room, because whether you're a senior who's graduating or a proud faculty member, proud parent, friend, coach, we all have something to celebrate today. And so it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you all. You know, before all the accolades, before all the achievements, well, I'm very grateful that I'm Googleable, and that's really cool now being an adult and people can look you up and just know all about you. It's important for me to really share with y'all who I am. First, I identify as being a woman of prayer, a woman of power, and a woman of purpose. Prayer, God is my center, He is my foundation, and no matter what this life has thrown at me, 'cause it's been beautiful, but that's not without loss, that's not without hardship or adversity. He's been my cornerstone, and through that prayer, I get to enter rooms and wake up every day feeling filled with power. Power understanding my worth and who I am and who created me. And lastly, purpose. I am a very intentional person, and for me, that really matters because you have a choice every day when you wake up how you're gonna live that day. Are you gonna fall in line and just kind of be like everyone else? Or are you going to be exactly who God created you to be on that day? And I wake up blessed to make that choice and understand the power that I have to make that choice. And that's what I wanted to talk to you all this morning about. You know, I stated that, you know, last time I was here was 6 years ago, and I was in your seat. And what I expected my life to look like, it did not actually pan out that way. That's how clever God is He make plans and He's like, oh, you thought? That's not actually the plan. You know, I was at the senior luncheon engaged to be married. I also had plans of playing professional basketball overseas. And I'd like to welcome my husband. No, I'm kidding, he's not here, I'm not married. And, you know, I unfortunately suffered my first ACL injury in my career after I was already done here at WSU, which, you know, I was praying, I was like, Lord, do I play? Do I go to law school? Or do I work? And busted up my knee playing at 24-hour fitness, so couldn't work, couldn't hoop, so I started law school. And I remember when I first started, I felt a little inadequate, because when I looked to my left and my right, my classmates had prior work experience, job history. They knew attorneys, they were raised by lawyers or judges, or they had some sort of legal backing, whereas I didn't. I have no attorneys in my family, I have no judges, I didn't even know any prior to entering to law school. And I remember I was at an event, and there was a judge, Justice Marty Jenkins, and he's now one of my near and dear mentors. And I went up and introduced myself to him after he spoke at this event. And I remember sharing with him kind of the inadequacy that I felt, you know, in having a lack of experience. And what he shared with me, and being a prior student athlete, unfortunately at UW, but we're not going to talk about that because he's still great. But he said that the fact that you were a student athlete and played at the level that you played at sets you apart. It gives us an edge. We're the ones with the power when we walk into a room. Because for the last 20 plus years, each of us have worked on honing in a skill, a craft. And by the sound of all the accolades that were presented today, we were pretty darn good at it too. And understanding the skills that you innately have now as you're transitioning into the real world, there is so much power that you're walking into that aren't teachable, aren't coachable at this stage in people's lives. And so understanding as an athlete, you are a solution-based thinker, okay? You're presented with an issue, a game time issue. And somehow, some way, you're able to collectively figure out a plan to overcome that challenge or that adversity. You know, a lot of us have suffered injury and understand what it's like to literally go from maybe losing the ability to even walk to then working our way slowly but surely back onto that field, that court, the pool, whatever it is. You were able to build yourself back up to get there. That takes grit, that takes strength, that a lot of people just do not have. We also can perform under pressure in front of thousands of people. That's pretty cool, you know? So you have the confidence to do so. You have the confidence to present. I have the confidence to present in front of you all. And my skills as an athlete prepared me for that. We know how to work on teams. We're coachable. We have access to resources, and we know how to tap into those. And so understanding that, understanding the power that you have in transitioning into this next season of your life, which is so exciting, I just want to encourage y'all to live on purpose. And what that means is that you use your God-given gifts, use the things that you're naturally good at, and pursue your greatest purpose. And for a lot of us, we may not know what that is, but we know that those gifts that we innately have are going to play into whatever purpose that is. And it's important to be present and intentional with where you are right now. And that is living on purpose, to be present and intentional with where you are now. Present with the opportunities that are presented in front of you, present with yourself, to know yourself well enough, to check in daily on how you're doing. Ask yourself tough questions, dig deeper, because this is you only get one body, one mind, one soul. And unfortunately, a lot of people end up going through the duration of their life never actually knowing themselves. And when you truly take the time to learn yourself, to know yourself, I know that's where my power comes from, because I know myself well enough that when I walk into a room, I belong to myself first. And so I'm not going to change who I am or waver about what my pillars are, what my values are, because of the crowd that I'm in front of. No, you're going to get the same Mariah whether I'm here in front of you all or whether I'm with my family or my friends or my women's group, whatever it is. My pillars remain the same. And that's because I've taken the time to learn what is important to me. Learn what is my foundational driving things. What are those things for you? Next is intentionality. How do you show up every day? And that doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect, because you will fall, you will fail, and it will be really hard. But what do you do with what's in front of you? What choice do you make in how you attack those issues, those things, those opportunities? The people that you connect with, your family, that's intentionality. Those moments, it's the moments that matter in this life. It's the journey that matters, not the destination. Because for a lot of us, I'll tell you right now, yes, I'm an attorney. I have a great job, great life, great people around me, but I cannot tell you what my life is going to look like in 5 years. And that's exciting, because whatever it is, I know that it's going to be great, because I'm living purposefully, because I'm intentional with the opportunities and the people who are around me, intentional with my connections, intentional with even when you're sitting at the dinner table, I'm not on my phone, because I don't know if this is the last time I'll be able to sit across from these people. And so just to live every day with purpose, live every day with intentionality, that is what I want y'all to take away from today. And I also wrote down some tips for the road. So some things that, I wish that I knew when I was sitting in your seat, but I'm grateful to go through this life and have the perspective now that I have and be able to share these things with you. So First is to show yourself grace. On this journey of purpose, it's easy to be critical of yourselves. I think as athletes, I know for me personally, a lot of times after the game, by the time I called my dad, I would already know all the things that I did wrong in the game. I already know all these things, and while he may be telling me, great game, daddy's girl, I'm proud of you, this, that, and the other, there was already a laundry list of things that I know that I can improve on and I was going to work on the next day. But it's so important to show yourself grace through this process and understand that you are not going to be perfect, but you are perfect just as you are and where you are. And so give yourself grace, give others grace as you go through this life as well. Next is stay in your lane. Now, literally, in track and field, although never done it, never ran, never did nothing, I know that you got to stay in your lane in most events. And that's kind of how you got to navigate this life, because the people sitting, even if it's within your family, everyone has different gifts, different superpowers, different experiences, and different perspectives, and different things that they go through that a lot of times you don't see. You don't know what someone's going through. They may say that they're good and that they're doing great, but like they could really be struggling inside. And so you're comparing yourself to a person who is not in your lane. And so go through this life with your eyes faced forward and take those opportunities that you have. Don't even look at the opportunities that other people have, because that's for them and that's for their purpose. But what's in front of you, that is your lane. That needs to be your focus. Next, protect your peace. This is one I live by, okay? Make sure that you prioritize you. And that is protecting your peace. You have to understand who is for you and who is not for you. And unfortunately, you learn that by people showing you who they are. You want people around you because each of us have a light that is meant to shine. And you want people around you who enhance that light. Not that you have to dim your light in order for them to be comfortable. Or they feel like their light is dimmed because yours is so bright. It's so important to understand how precious our peace is, and how when we have that inner peace, we know when we're aligned. We know when we're walking in steps that we're meant to walk in, because we know in our spirit when we're out of alignment. And so protect your peace at all costs and above all else. Identify your tribe and hold on tight. It's so important for the people around you to be reflections of who you are and want to be. And like I said, you need people around you who really are for you. And I'm blessed that a number of people that I met throughout the course of my experience here at WSU, I've taken with me in real life and are a part of my tribe. And I've met new people along the way who are also a part of that tribe. That is the people who are standing to your right and your left, who will hold you up when you don't feel strong enough to get out of bed. Those are the people who check in on you. Those are the people who hold you accountable. And if you're not living on purpose, if they see that you're not taking full advantage of what's in front of you, they're going to call you out, because it's from a place of love and you know they have your best interests at heart. So keep your tribe tight. Pour into it, invest in your people. And with that, mentorship is key. Actually yesterday at dinner, I identified for honestly the first time that my near and dear beloved in the late June Doherty was the first mentor I've ever had. And understanding the investment that she had into my development as a human being, my development as a young woman, a young leader. I know that I would not be who I am today without not only her mentorship, but the mentors who came after her. And understanding that you need people who are willing to pick up the phone and advocate for you. They can talk about not only what you do, your accolades, your accomplishments, but who am I as a person? People want to know that. And your network, who your mentors are, that matters in this next stage of your life. And we've received awards from people, coaches, faculty, staff. Keep those contacts, keep those relationships, check in, because it matters. And you never know who you'll need to pick up the phone and advocate for you. Next is be content, but never complacent. There's always room for growth, always room to improve, always room to dig deeper. And so understanding that there's never a day that you can't improve or be better. Next is get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, like I said, a lot of us have spent over 2 decades working on the sport that we've now played in college and at this level. And so that is our comfortability zone. That's where we kind of reside and where we feel like we have, as we step into this next space of life, the next season of life, that we have to stay in because that's what's comfortable. But I challenge you, I encourage you to challenge yourself and to be okay being uncomfortable. Understand that that growth does not come without you pushing yourself to be uncomfortable. And know that that space is not forever, it's temporary, because you're learning how now to transfer all the skills that you've built here and throughout the course of your life to a whole new field, a new area of life. And understand it's okay to be uncomfortable. And that's where your mentors come in, because a lot of times they've gone through the same things that you're going through. And so they're gonna be able to give you insight, perspective, to help you navigate those spaces of uncomfortability. The next is fail forward. Like I said, you're going to fall, you're going to make mistakes. So show yourself grace in that and understand that when you fall, don't stay there. Because it's not about the failure, it's not about maybe the mistake or fall, it's about how you respond. And that is, for me, what I look at when I'm analyzing the quality of the human who's across the table from me, or you know, as a DA, I have to analyze why are they, and what happened, what circumstances brought them to the being now the defendant. And understanding that, then what is their response? How do they respond to this act? Because it's not so much the act, it's the response that tells me about your character and who you are. That's what matters. So fail forward. And lastly, be you. Don't try to be anyone else but yourself, because that is where you'll fail. If you're trying to be like the person to your right or to your left, you will never be that. You were not created to be that. So be yourself, learn yourself, love yourself deeply, because this is the only self that we get. And so we might as well just be it to the fullest of our abilities, to the fullest of our capacities. Love yourself and be you, because we are all wonderfully and uniquely made. Now, wow, this is great. I'm so happy. I wish that I was able to receive this message when I was in your seat, because I understand now, having the perspective that I have, what this is going to do, whatever you take. You don't got to take it all, but take something, because it's going to matter. And you're going to be like, oh, I remember when that old Coug came, and I'm not old, I'm young and popping, but you know, and that former Coug came and spoke with us. And I hope that that now carries and is able to translate and be relevant. I know it will, to what you're about to experience. And I'm so excited for what's to come for each of you. And so now, please join us. We're gonna go into the stadium. I think it may be raining, but it's okay, it's Pullman. We're gonna view the senior video. And after the video, we will sing the fight song. And as always, go Cougs.
Senior leadership is vital to any program, especially ours. Last one, baby. Last one in Martin.
I'm pleased that Cammie's testifying here today as part of the esteemed panel. Go Cougs.
Time to put on a show.
Snap to Laura, delayed give to Borgie, runs into the official, now eludes his tackle with his stiff arm at the 5, he sprints toward the 10, right behind Joey Hobart, he's in, touchdown, through the snowy night.
Defeating the Washington Huskies.
Washington State wins the Apple Cup in Seattle with the largest margin ever.